Hi guys! Happy last week of Vlogtober. Can't believe it's almost over. But anyways, today, as you can tell from the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be reviewing for you guys some of Tatcha's skincare products. I got many requests in my Ulta video if I could go over this brand, talk about the products that are, hyped, if they're worth it, and if they're worth the price. In addition to skincare, there's a lot of makeup on the site. I am not a makeup wearer or a makeup person, so I'm not going to review that. And for the sake of brevity, I'm going to review the best sellers in skincare from the Tatcha brand. So the number one product that comes up under the best sellers is the water cream. This retails for $68 for 1.7 ounces. And I have to say strongly that of anything on here, I strongly discourage anyone from buying this water cream. It is a time bomb of potential problems. All right, so I've cautioned in most of my videos against putting fragrance on the skin, and people are always like, why is fragrance a problem? Why do I need to avoid fragrance? The reason being that fragrance allergy is actually quite common, and you may not have an allergy or sensitivity to fragrance today or tomorrow or next week, but it can develop at any time. And the more products that you use containing fragrance in them, the more likely that is to eventually occur and cause many problems for you. And fragrance is so pervasive in our environment that it really sets up a challenge for individuals who develop a sensitivity to it down the road. So avoiding it in our skincare products is prudent and something I always advocate. Furthermore, it doesn't have a role in skincare other than to make the product smell nice and to appeal to consumers' desires to pursue things that have a nice fragrance. But fragrance molecules themselves don't do anything beneficial for the skin, and in fact, many of them are vasodilators and can contribute to persistent redness and irritation. Therefore, I strongly advocate avoiding fragrance in skincare at all costs if you can. It can be very hard, and you have to look carefully, and do not be duped by the terms natural fragrance. Natural fragrance is equally problematic to synthetic fragrance, and most of the Tatcha products do have fragrance in them, so I will always speak against that as an ingredient. You guys who watch me know that at this point. But the water cream is problematic for other reasons aside from the fragrance. It not only does it contain fragrance, but it contains a variety of these botanical extracts that the founder is touting to come from geisha skincare, but really there's no founded history in using these ingredients. And botanical ingredients, plant-derived ingredients, they can be really problematic for the skin, particularly for people who have sensitive skin or rosacea-prone skin, but really anyone in general. Botanical things, plant-derived products, plant extracts. Our skin is designed to keep that stuff out, so there's really no logical reason to put those ingredients in. They're not evidence-based, and so they can be really problematic. In addition to the fragrance and the botanical extracts, this is a moisturizer which also has alcohol in it, and it strikes me as being a little drying when I personally have tried it myself. It strikes me as being a little drying. Now, alcohol in skincare overall is not something to necessarily fear, but it's not really something that you want in your moisturizers, and the reason being, alcohol can be very drying. If you have sensitive skin or rosacea, the presence of alcohol in skincare can really be problematic for you as well. You'll have a heightened sensitivity to that. That, in combination with the multitude of botanical extracts and fragrance in this, makes the water cream a really, really problematic product. And then last up, the other reason to avoid the water cream is it's got gold in it. Now, gold is something that skincare companies love to try and sell you on, right? Gold sounds expensive, it sounds exotic, and they tout it as an antioxidant. Truth be told, gold isn't really that strong of an antioxidant to begin with. Yes, it has a long-standing history in medicine for treating inflammatory diseases, but largely as it's a systemic medication, and a systemic medication that in and of itself has many side effects and is really not used that much anymore. We have better systemic drugs for inflammatory diseases. But in skincare, it's never really had a role whatsoever, and if anything, can definitely be problematic for numerous reasons. First of all, gold molecules can actually deposit into the skin and cause a type of foreign body reaction that leads to discoloration called chrysiasis. That can occur exogenously just from deposits of gold into the skin from using a cream like this. Gold is abrasive, and so the presence of that abrasive gold in there in combination with the botanic extracts, I mean, you're really just begging your immune system to act out. You're really just asking for problems there. Not only does it have gold, but it also has tin in it as well as titanium dioxide. So these three metals together, it's like an aggressive scrub on there almost, and really can set you up for quite a bit of irritation. Plus with all of the other fragrance ingredients in this, oh gosh, stay away from this product. I just have to warn you against it. It does have a few logical ingredients, all right? Not the entire ingredient list is not bad. The good ingredients in this are green tea. Green tea or tea, camellia, has been shown to be very helpful in skincare, in moisturizers, in lotions, in leave-on forms. It's been shown to be helpful for improving some of the burden of inflammatory lesions of acne, as well as diminishing the appearance of pores. So green tea is a logical ingredient, particularly in a moisturizer where it's left on the skin to really shine. All right, it can scavenge free radicals theoretically, act as a potent antioxidant, and it's a pretty affordable and easy to acquire ingredient for them to put into products, and it doesn't make the product necessarily cost prohibitive. In addition to green tea, it also has dimethicone and glycerin in it, which are fantastic moisturizers and humectants. Dimethicone is a wonderful occlusive moisturizer. No, it will not clog pores. It helps to seal in the skin barrier and prevent transepidermal water loss, which is what you want in a moisturizer. It also has, as I mentioned, the glycerin. That's a humectant that can kind of hold on to water a little bit. In combination with the dimethicone, you have a logical formulation there for a moisturizer. And then it's got fermented rice filtrate, which rice bran, rice extracts, rice ferment filtrates. These are rich in beta-glucans. Beta-glucans can bind up water and are wonderful moisturizers, and also have been shown to have many antioxidants in these filtrates that can impart a brightening effect. So those are not bad ingredients, but I wouldn't go shelling out 68 bucks for this mixed bag of tricks. If you want to pursue some of those ingredients, a far better choice, in my opinion, is Etude House Sun Jung 2X Barrier Cream. I'll list it down below. This is a ceramide-containing green tea moisturizer that is free of fragrance, free of these problematic ingredients, and is wonderful. And likewise, another product that is also wonderful that I'll list down below is the Cosrx Ultimate Nourishing Rice Overnight Spa Mask. This is a lotion moisturizer that has the rice ferment filtrate in it for the humectant property, for the beta-glucans, for the brightening. It also has niacinamide in it. It is wonderful. You definitely see a brightening effect with it. Far more affordable. You can buy it on iHerb. I'll list it down below as well. All right, but next up is the Pure One Step Camellia Cleansing Oil. This is a $48 cleansing oil, 5.1 ounces. Cleansing oils, you all know, if you watch any of my skincare routine, I'm a huge fan of as a gentle way to break up your mascara, your makeup, your water-resistant sunscreen, rather than using a makeup remover or a makeup remover wipe that requires you to rub, to scrub. This is a logical way of like dissolving like, and breaking up that makeup and sunscreen, and then you wash it off with a gentle cleanser. All right, so yay, they have a cleansing oil. It's pricey, it has fragrance in it, But otherwise, I can't say too much bad about it. I will say this, all right, so the oil in this is the Japanese camellia oil, which the founder touts as having high oleic acid, okay? High oleic acid containing oils like olive oil, they actually have been shown to impair the skin barrier. So they are terrible, terrible oils to include in moisturizers. They actually can lead to impaired skin barrier and contribute to increased transepidermal water loss. Personally, and logically, it's okay in my opinion to have them in cleansing oils, because if you think about a cleansing oil, the purpose of a cleansing oil is not, you don't use it with the intention of restoring your skin barrier. You use it with the intention of removing crap off your face and then you wash it off, okay? That's really what it's for. So, cleansing oils that have olive oil or have this Japanese camellia oil that has a higher oleic acid content in it, you don't have to be as concerned about impairing the skin barrier, because you're just going to rinse them off anyway, and they're not intended to serve as moisturizers. You wouldn't, in my opinion, you would not want this as a oil in your moisturizer, just like you wouldn't want an olive oil based moisturizer. They can be problematic. Plus, this also has alcohol in it. I imagine it's a little drying. In my opinion, a far better choice, very affordable, is the Hada Labo cleansing oil that you guys know I use and love. It's like 17 bucks. You can get it on Yes Style. Another good drugstore cleansing oil is the Simple cleansing oil. It is grapeseed oil, so that's another affordable, easy to access option. You know, the Pure One Step Camellia cleansing oil, basically, if you want to shell out 48 bucks for a cleansing oil, okay, but it's really not bringing anything substantial to justify the price, in my opinion. It's not going to deep cleanse you any more than any other oil is going to. There's no rationale for that. Okay, so that's what I'll say about that. Not a terrible product. There are more affordable, more reasonable alternatives out there, which I'll list down below. The next product is the Deep Cleanse Gel Cleanser. This is a gel cleanser that retails for $38 for 5 ounces. And I don't have too much terrible to say about it either. It's a gel cleanser. I personally enjoy gel cleansers. I think they're really nice. I like the way they feel. I like the aesthetics of them. They're very gentle. This one, I believe, like I said, does have fragrance in it. But aside from that, it has rice filtrate in it and it has algae in it. So, it's got some nice humectant properties to it. It's a little pricey, and in my opinion, isn't bringing a whole lot to the table to justify that price for a gel cleanser. I mean, this is something you're going to use to take off that broken up oil, mascara, makeup from the first cleanse. You're then going to wash off with the second cleanse using, ideally this gel cleanser. I think personally, in my experience, far better choices available in the drugstore are the Simple Brands Micellar Cleansing Gel, the gel cleanser by the Simple brand, Unilever. The other one is the Aveeno Ultra Calming Gel Cleanser. That one is wonderful. It is very gentle. Both of these are fragrance-free, affordable. The Aveeno one, if you are concerned, it does have feverfew in it, but feverfew in Aveeno products is devoid of, or has been filtered out. It has been filtered of parthenolide, which is the ingredient that some people with ragweed allergies and problems with feverfew might have issue with. They remove that, and feverfew has otherwise been shown to be okay in skincare, moisturizing, and kind of soothing. So that doesn't seem to be a problem, but anything can potentially be a problem, and it's hard to predict. But overall, I would say that is a much safer choice than the Deep Cleanse, and honestly a lot more affordable. I mean, 38 bucks for a gel cleanser, really? It's a lot of money literally down the drain. You're literally just washing it down the drain. All right, then the next one up, I was actually kind of surprised to be able to potentially not recommend this, but not hate on this too much. It's an essence, I know. I'm always like, essences are totally useless. All right, the essence. This is 95 bucks. I can't believe I don't have anything too terrible to say about a $95 5-ounce bottle of probably just water. This is an essence that contains yeast extract, green tea, and soy. Soy can inhibit some of the transfer of pigment in our pigment cells, melanocytes, and transiently impart a brightening effect. Green tea, I already mentioned, or tea has been shown to, in leave-on forms, like you would be doing with this essence, in leave-on forms has been shown to improve acne as well as diminish the appearance of pores. So a logical ingredient. This bad boy appears to be free of fragrance, so she didn't put the fragrance in the essence. And it's a leave-on product, so I can't say anything bad about it aside from the price. My one thing against essences and toners and these liquidy, first steps where you take a little palmful and sluice it on, pat it on, it's just not a logical delivery of active ingredients, all right? I mean, if you go through any textbook of dermatologic therapeutics and the principles of topicals and delivery and vehicle, you will appreciate that a liquid form like this is really just not a very rational way to put on active ingredients. You really want it in a semi-occlusive or occlusive moisturizing leave-on lotion versus a liquid like this that is going to run down your face, and then the watery components in that are just going to evaporate right out and can be very drying. So it's kind of a gimmicky way to use an active ingredient, and they'll say it's more pure, the active ingredients are more concentrated, they can penetrate the skin better. Show me the data, prove that to me. I am always suspicious about these claims of serums and toners and essences allowing better penetration. That is largely a marketing line and is not something that is substantiated in an evidence-based manner. And if you think about it, if toners and essences were the way to deliver active ingredients, don't you think topical drugs would be in an essence form and not a cream or gel vehicle if it really worked that well? I mean, if we had data and evidence that was a logical delivery device, you'd see it in topical prescription drugs, and you don't. So it's largely a marketing gimmick that the cosmetic companies have come up with. And I'm not saying that this is necessarily bad. I wouldn't be surprised if you did see a little bit of a brightening effect, honestly, from using this. But God, 95 bucks, really? Moving right along, the rice polish. Oh geez. All right, so the rice polish is actually 4 different products, each targeting a different kind of skin concern. That is a powder that you reconstitute in water and sort of use as a foaming enzyme peel. They retail for $65 for 2.1 ounces. You reconstitute, I think, like half a teaspoon or something in water. And all right, so let's just go through these. The classic and the deep. The classic is targeting normal to dry skin, and the deep is targeting normal to oily skin. Then they have a dry that is obviously targeting dry skin. All 3 of these are meat tenderizer. They all 3 contain papain as kind of the salient ingredient in them that is going to exfoliate the skin. Papain is a proteolytic enzyme. It's present in papaya. If you've ever eaten a lot of papaya, you know that you can sometimes get some irritation around the mouth. Papaya with the papain in it actually can be very helpful, I find, for upset stomach, just from the papain. It just kind of aids in digestion. And it is what is present in meat tenderizer. So Tatcha has put it in the foaming enzyme. And I would say proceed with caution. I think the difference between the classic, the deep, and the dry are really all in how much of the papain is there, as far as how strong of an exfoliant you're going to get. But this can be incredibly irritating. So people who should avoid the classic, the deep, and the dry, anybody with rosacea, sensitive skin, and if you're somebody with acne who is going through a lot of peeling, desquamation, and dryness from your topical acne medications, resist the urge to pursue something like this to peel off the flakes, okay? The flakes are exfoliation. Putting exfoliant on exfoliation just exacerbates irritation and can really set you up for problems. So resist the temptation to pursue something like this if you are somebody who is peeling from your topical acne medications. The people who I think will be entertained by the outcomes of this when done, I don't know, maybe conservatively speaking, at the most once a week to once every other week, are people with dry skin that's, you know, a little rough, people with keratosis pilaris, where you can get those dry, rough bumps, and you just want a little chemical exfoliation. I wouldn't be surprised if you found this softened the skin and imparted a brightening effect in just removing some of that built up keratin on the surface of the skin. But proceed with caution. I would say proceed with caution with something like this. Definitely get the mini trial size version and test it out. Avoid putting it on the neck for sure. The neck has very few sebaceous oil glands in it, so it's not going to handle papain digestive enzyme the same way that like your cheek would. You definitely want to avoid getting it around your eyes. The skin there is very thin, very delicate. Ooh, bad news bears to get papain anywhere near your eyes. Definitely want to avoid it around the corners of the mouth and around the corners of the nose here. Can really be very irritating there. But you know, if you want to test out a little on the cheek, honestly, in my opinion, testing it out on like your thigh is a good place to test things like that out, and then sneak up to the thicker areas of your face like your cheek. But honestly, I would definitely try the trial size. And you know, it's got the green tea in there, but this is intended to be washed off, so the green tea isn't really going to do its thing there, and it's kind of a waste of green tea. So there's that. There is a one difference I will note in the dry skin formulation is it has a licorice root extract in it, which can be calming and can improve redness and can also impart a brightening effect. So I would say the dry one is probably a good one to consider of all three if you are somebody who wants to dance with this devil. The sensitive one, I haven't mentioned yet, does not appear to have the papain in it, so it does not have the meat tenderizer in it, and I'm kind of wondering what the purpose of the sensitive one is, if any. It has colloidal oatmeal in it, which is soothing, hydrating, moisturizing, and it has green tea in it. But the purpose of this powder is to reconstitute it, put it on there, and then wash it off. If you have sensitive skin, that is one more thing that you're putting on your skin and washing off, okay? So it's asking you to expose your skin to another product, which can potentially be irritating, as well as water, which is an irritant in and of itself. So it's adding more water to your skincare routine, which if you have sensitive skin, really there's no role for it, and is going to push you into a darker path. So to me, the sensitive calming one is complete waste, and there's no logic in how that was formulated, or in terms of how you're instructed to use it. Does not make sense. All right, the Silk cream is $120. I can't remember how many ounces that is. I apologize. Avoid the Silk cream. Don't spend $120 on something. You know, honestly, people always seem to, there always seem to be a few people out there who get incredibly upset when I tell them not to spend a ton of money on something that they can find an affordable drugstore version that is less irritating. Some people like to spend a lot of money, I guess, on skincare. If you want to spend a lot of money on something from Tatcha because you want to own something from Tatcha, buy the essence. That seems to be the least irritating thing. And hey, it's 95 bucks, all right? I don't know. Actually, she has a pearl necklace that's quite lovely. I would probably buy that over anything, although pearls are not cruelty-free, but are vegan. But yeah, the Silk cream is $120, and I would definitely avoid this. It's got fragrance in it. It also contains royal jelly in it, which is present in a lot of Asian skincare, cosmetic skincare, like the Tatcha. And honestly, you know, yes, it can be a fairly decent moisturizing ingredient, but like propolis, you also can develop an allergic contact dermatitis to it. That has been reported. And if you have any Hymenoptera allergy, bee allergy, allergy to bee stings, I would say avoid this potentially. And $120, that's very expensive. Honestly, CeraVe moisturizing cream in the tub. That is a much safer moisturizing option for a moisturizer. Or Ceramedics moisturizing cream, or Cetaphil moisturizing cream. All of these are wonderful. Yes, they contain parabens, but again, go back to my parabens video. Parabens in skincare are not problematic, and they protect the product, and in my opinion, in my experience, those are far safer, more logical moisturizers. This is kind of in the realm of makeup, so I'm speaking a little outside of my element, but I've got to tell you guys, don't go for this thing. This is the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. It retails for 48 bucks. This is perfume. I mean, nothing more than perfume. It is an alcohol-based spray with fragrance in it, and thyme. Thyme is an ingredient is very irritating, so avoid that. You know, it's intended to spray on your face and give you this dewy look. You know, that's really going to lead to dryness, increased transepidermal water loss by virtue of the evaporation. You've got that alcohol component, and it's further going to increase evaporation of water out of the skin. Avoid that. Oh, and it's got the royal jelly in it as well. That can be irritating and potentially cause problems. So that is nothing more than perfume. I am speaking a little outside of my element though, because for those of you who do all this exotic makeup and you want your makeup to stay, maybe spraying alcohol on your face keeps the makeup set. Again, speaking out of my element, but be careful with something like this. It is essentially perfume that you're spraying on the face. So that can be problematic. It does have licorice root extract in it, so would not be surprised if some of the dewiness is just a little brightening from the licorice root extract in there. So that's probably what would contribute to that improvement if you saw it. But this is something to avoid. Then last up is the Silken Pore Perfect Sunscreen SPF 35. This is $65 sunscreen, 2 ounces. Not a whole lot of sunscreen for $65. It is a combination sunscreen, so it has zinc in it and octinoxate, or excuse me, octisalate. So it will give you broad spectrum coverage of UVA, UVB. It's SPF 35. That is reasonable. You're going to want to be reapplying this every 2 hours while you're outdoors to get good sun protection. If you're not outdoors throughout the day and you're inside, my rule of thumb is to reapply at least 3 times a day, just to be prudent. Your anti-aging pursuits are completely futile if you're not reapplying sunscreen and protecting your skin from ultraviolet light. That really is the big daddy of aging of the skin is ultraviolet light. That's the thing that you can protect yourself against and do the most to impact. And one way to do that is consistent use of a broad spectrum sunscreen. But the Tatcha one is pretty expensive. That's pretty expensive for the 2 ounces. In addition, it's got fragrance in it. Fragrance in leave-on products like a sunscreen, setting you up for failure. It does have the green tea in it, so it does substantiate the Pore Perfect claim. So there's that. And it also has licorice root extract in it, which can be soothing, anti-inflammatory, and impart a brightening effect. So I can see why people might enjoy the sunscreen. Just be aware of the fragrance. Otherwise, I don't have too much terrible to say about it. So yeah, not the worst case scenario as far as skincare products, but in my opinion, definitely not worth it. Definitely not worth that price point. Not sustainable. And yeah, I personally would not plunk that kind of change down for essentially a lot of perfume. There are far more affordable, logical, and more rational products out there in the drugstore and stuff you can get on iHerb. I'll list it down below for those of you who don't enjoy spending this kind of cash on skincare products. But overall, I hope this video was helpful to you guys who are asking for it. If you use this line, comment below what it is that you like about it, what products you use and like. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. Talk to you guys tomorrow.